There's a particular kind of tiredness that entrepreneurs know, not the tiredness of exhaustion, but the tiredness of carrying vision. You see what others don't. You see the gap between what is and what could be, and that gap pulls at you. It pulls until you move, until you build. This track is for you. It's not about motivation. Motivation is cheap. It's about something deeper, about settling into the quiet certainty that you're built to do this, about trusting the part of you that knows, the part that's already won. Do not listen while driving or operating machinery. If you have a medical or psychological condition, please consult a medical professional before listening. This session will be best enjoyed with headphones in a safe, comfortable place where you won't be disturbed. Now, take a breath and let yourself settle into this journey. And now, find yourself at the base of the ridge. There's a path ahead of you. It rises gently at first, lined with low heather and tufts of grass. The air is clean. The wind carries a scent of earth, deep, grounding earth. Your feet find the path naturally. There's no hurry here, no rush, just the quiet intention of a climb. You can feel the solidity of the earth beneath your boots, firm, reliable, the kind of ground that holds you as you rise. With each step you're climbing, your legs know the rhythm. Breath in as your foot pushes forward, breath out as your body rises. There's a pattern to this, a simple, reliable pattern, and your mind settles into it. Left foot, right foot, breath in, breath out. The ridge rises ahead, but it's not steep. It's steady, manageable, and with each step, you're becoming quieter, clearer. The clutter falls away, all the noise of the day, all the thinking about this or that. None of it reaches you here. Here, there's only the climb, the steady, inevitable climb towards something greater. Your shoulders are loose, heavy, your arms swing gently with each step. You're becoming aware of your body now in a different way, not as something that thinks, but as something that moves, something that knows. Your legs feel strong, not strained, strong, capable, powerful. And as you climb higher, your breathing deepens. Your mind is becoming quieter still, more spacious, like the wind moving across the ridge, moving through everything, disturbing nothing, just flowing, just being. And deeper you go, deeper with each breath, deeper with each step. The trail curves gently to the left, and you follow it naturally. Your vision expands. You can see further now. The ridge stretches ahead, and below you, the valley falls away. You can see for miles from here. The earth rolls away in soft waves of green and brown. And with this wider view comes something else, a sense of perspective. From down in the valley, individual trees filled your vision. Trees were the whole world. But here you see the whole landscape. You see how it all fits together, how every part connects to the larger whole. This is what happens when you climb. Your vision expands. Your understanding deepens. You begin to perceive patterns that were invisible at lower elevations. And notice something. You don't have to think about where to place your feet. Your body knows. Your feet find the solid ground automatically. You're not computing the angle. You're not calculating the distance. You're just walking. And this is profound, because thinking is slow, thinking is uncertain, thinking is hesitant, but knowing is fast, knowing is clean, knowing doesn't hesitate, knowing moves. this capacity within you, this ability to know, to move without thinking, to build without second guessing, to trust the part of you that's already solved this, already mapped the way, already knows the solution. That part of you doesn't ask permission. It doesn't look for certainty from outside. It simply knows and acts. Feel your feet on the ground, solid, connected. Your legs are warm from the climb, full of energy, yet relaxed, muscles engaged but not tense. Your chest rises and falls with each breath, steady, rhythmic, calm. Your shoulders are relaxed, held by the trust that this path will lead you where you need to go. Your arms are loose, your hands are open, your mind is quiet, clear, attentive but not straining. You're not trying to focus, you're not trying to do anything. You're simply here, on this ridge, in this moment, alive, aware, present, and everything is exactly as it should be. Your body knows what to do, your instincts know what to become, and all you have to do is allow it. You're higher now, much higher. The ridge has become narrower, but you feel no fear. Your feet are sure, the wind brushes against your face, cool, alive, real, invigorating, and with each breath you settle deeper into this state, deeper into the part of you that knows, that remembers, that understands the truth about who you are, not what you've been told you are, not what others think, not their doubts or their limitations, but what you know in the deepest part of yourself, the part that doesn't doubt, the part that was born to build, to create, to move mountains, to shift paradigms. This part of you has always been here, waiting, dormant but present, and now it awakens, fully, completely. Deeper now, down into the part of you that is the business owner, the creator, the one who sees what others miss, the entrepreneur in you, the visionary. You're becoming more aware of this part with every breath, with every moment, the part that's not afraid of the unknown, that's not paralyzed by uncertainty, that meets the blank page, the empty market, the untested idea, and sees possibility, sees the path where others see a wall, sees the opportunity where others see a problem. This is your nature. This has always been your nature. It's wired into you. It's in your DNA. And it's becoming clearer now, sharper, more vivid, more alive, more undeniable. Not by training, but by essence, by the way you're wired, by the fiber of your being. You see gaps and you move to fill them. You see problems and you become obsessed with solving them. You can't help it. It's not effort, it's gravity. It draws you forward. It pulls you toward creation's eye. And this identity is absolute, not as fantasy, not something not you do wishful thinking and forget about inevitability. As destiny, you can see every cell of perfectly, not every detail, but you can feel its shape, its weight, its momentum, its reality, and you trust this vision, not because someone else believes in it, not because the market has validated it first, not because all the conditions are perfect, but because you can see it, and what you can see, you can build. What you can perceive, you can create. This is the gift of the visionary, the sacred ability to envision what doesn't yet exist and bring it into being. And here's what the entrepreneurs know. Certainty doesn't come before the action. That's the great secret. Certainty comes after. You move first. You take the step. You test. You learn. You adjust. You iterate. You move again. And in that cycle of moving and learning, certainty grows. It compounds. It solidifies. But waiting for certainty is death. Death of dreams. Death of potential. The market doesn't confidence doesn't need the approval. History doesn't celebrate. It doesn't need external validation. It rewards the courageous. It doesn't need permission. The ones willing to move from something much deeper, completely from knowing, from evidence, conditions. From every time you've moved through the impossible, this courage from every problem you've solved, every setback you've learned from, every failure that taught you something valuable. This confidence is quiet. It doesn't shout. It doesn't need to. It simply knows, and that knowing makes you formidable. That quiet certainty is more powerful. You are the business owner with vision, the creator with courage, the one who knows their nature and trusts it completely. And from this place, from this merged understanding, you take action, not rushed action, not frantic action, but intentional action, clear action, aligned action. Every step you take from now on is the step of someone who knows who they are, who knows what they're building, who knows that the path is being revealed one step at a time. And that's enough. That's everything. That's all that's ever needed. And you continue climbing, higher now, so much higher. The ridge narrows, but you feel no fear. Your footing is secure, each step is solid. Below you, the valley is far away now, a memory almost. The view is vast and expanding, and you're becoming aware of your own vastness. The unexplored territories within you, the resources you haven't tapped yet, the capacity that's still dormant, still waiting. The capacity for even greater achievement, for even bigger builds. The climb brings this out, brings it to the surface. As you rise physically, you rise mentally, you rise emotionally, you rise spiritually, you rise into who you're truly capable of becoming. Is stronger here, powerful. It moves across the ridge and it brings something with it, clarity. The wind strips away the noise, the unnecessary, the false, the distractions, the doubts, and what remains is essential, pure, real. This is what happens when you climb, when you put yourself in a place of challenge, when you face the elements. The wind does that for you. It clears the clutter, it cuts through the confusion, and what you're left with is truth, clear, undeniable truth about your capability, about your purpose, about what you were meant to do, about what only you can build. Slowed, deepened, each breath is full, complete, satisfying, and with each exhale, you let go of doubt, you let go of the need to control everything, you let go of the stories that don't serve you, the old narratives, the limiting beliefs. Your legs continue their rhythm, your body continues its climb, steady, powerful, but your mind is at rest, your nervous system is at ease. Your whole being is in harmony, and in this ease, something profound happens. Your instincts become clearer, sharper, more acute. Your intuition becomes sharper still. Your ability to perceive opportunity becomes almost supernatural. You begin to feel what's real. something in this climb, something profound, something that creators must know. That difficulty is information, that every obstacle is data, that the path that's easy is often the wrong path, the hard path, the path that requires all of you. That's the path that leads somewhere, that transforms you, that makes you stronger. And you know this in your bones. You've lived this. Every failure has taught you something. Every setback has rebuilt you stronger than before. Every wound has become a source of strength. This is how you're made. Not broken by difficulty, strengthened by it, forged in the fire of challenge. Because you've never fallen, but because you've fallen and gotten up, because you've failed and learned, because every wound has become a scar, and every scar is proof of your ability to survive, to adapt, to regenerate, to grow. And this resilience is not fragile, it's not hope, it's not inspiration or positive thinking. It's fact. And when the moment comes to decide neurological fact of your nervous system, you've proven it. Wait for perfect information. Perfect information doesn't exist. You can process what arrives. A trap. You can step through difficulty. You gather what you can. You trust your gut. You listen to that part of you that knows, that feels the rightness or wrongness of a path, and you decide. Clean, clear, committed, no hedging, no second guessing. And even if that decision turns out to be different than expected, you're not devastated, because you know something that most people don't. Wrong decisions, when you're learning from them, are the best decisions. They're the path to mastery. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's the path to success. It's the prerequisite. And you know this. You've seen it. The businesses that failed taught you more than the ones that succeeded. The relationships that didn't work clarified what you actually wanted. The ideas that crashed showed you where the real opportunity was. The projects that didn't launch revealed new markets. Nothing is wasted. Everything is fuel. Everything is data. Everything is learning. And under understanding, you become clearer, deep, not foggy, cellular, not paralyzed, not confused. It frees you, clearer. It removes people. Their thinking gets muddy under pressure. Experiment. They freeze. They default to old patterns. To fail. But you're different. To push boundaries. For this. To take and become sharper under pressure. Your focus narrows to what matters. Everything else falls away. Your instincts become infallible. You can feel a decision in your body. You can sense the right move, the aligned move, and you act on it without hesitation, without second guessing. This is not arrogance. This is the result of 1,000 decisions made before, the result of paying attention, of you are resilient and decisive. You learn from failure and move forward without hesitation. You're comfortable with uncertainty because you know you can handle whatever comes, and this is your superpower. In a world of paralyzed people, you move. In a world of doubt and confusion, you know. In a world of fear, you act. And that combination, that unstoppable combination of resilience, clarity, and action is what visionaries are made of, and you can feel it now, crystallizing, becoming real, becoming undeniable, becoming your new normal. And you're almost there. The ridge has widened again. is clearer. The summit is just ahead now. You can see it, really see it. The ridge flattens at the top, and there, on the highest point, you see something that makes your breath catch. A fire pit, the earth arranged in a circle, built with intention, with care. The embers glow orange and gold, even in the daylight, still burning, still alive, still warm. Someone built that. Someone before you stood where you're standing and made something. Created something that would last. That would warm others. That would bring people together. That would transform the experience of everyone who found it. And now it's your turn to reach the summit. Each step now brings you closer. Your breath is strong, your body is alive, electric with purpose, and your mind is utterly quiet, crystal clear. There's no thinking happening, no planning, no strategizing, no doubt, just forward motion, just movement, just arrival. This is what happens when you become fully integrated. When the entrepreneur and the visionary, the resilient one and the decisive one, when they all move as one. When there's no internal conflict, no divided attention, just flow, just momentum, just inevitability. The summit calls, and you answer. And you reach the top. You stand on the summit of the ridge. The world opens below you to every direction, miles and miles of landscape. The view is extraordinary, breathtaking, and you realize something in this moment, something fundamental. The climb was never about the destination. The climb was about what it revealed, about who you become in the process, about the clarity that comes from rising above, from seeing the larger picture, from understanding that you were always capable of this, that the capacity was always within you. It just needed to be tested, refined, proven. And there's the fire pit in the center of the summit, the earth arranged with intention, with care, with love. The embers glow orange and gold, warm, alive, real. Warmth radiates from the center outward. You can feel it from where you stand, and you understand. This is the other part of the journey, not just the climb, but the rest. Not weakness, but wisdom. The wise entrepreneur knows that you can't climb forever, that you must rest. That rest is not laziness, it's strategy. That warmth, connection, stillness. These aren't luxuries, they're fuel, they're necessary. From this height, you can see everything. You can see the path you climbed, every step, every challenge, every moment where you wondered if you could make it. And you did, you made it. You can see the landscape in every direction, the possibilities, the opportunities, the places you haven't explored yet, the valleys you haven't entered. And you understand, the world is larger than your current problems, larger than today's obstacles, larger than yesterday's failures. There's always more to from this vantage point. Always patterns emerge that were invisible from below. Always you can see how things connect, how one action creates a cascade, how small, consistent moves compound into massive results. The ability to play the long game, resources flow, to think in you can see the shape of instead of days, the flow of capital, the direction of change, the places where supply and demand misalign. the gaps waiting to be filled, the opportunities that no one else can see yet, and you see them before anyone else, because you're up here, elevated, expanded, your perception is enhanced, your pattern recognition is acute, and that perception is your competitive advantage. That seeing is what separates you. And sitting by the fire pit, you understand something that the burnout culture doesn't teach, something that's hidden from the hurried, that the business owners who last, the ones who create the most, who change the most, who build the most, aren't the ones who push the hardest. They're the ones who know how to rest, who know that energy is finite, that attention is a resource, that your nervous system has a rhythm, a natural cycle, and when you honor that rhythm, when you rest, when you need to rest, when you from the summit, when you need to see which battles you become and which don't, not because you never stop compound, but because you stop strategically, which skill understand developing, and which is not the absence of productivity matter. It's the foundation of it. 10 years, what's actually important versus what feels urgent today. You can distinguish between the signal and the noise, and this clarity, this hard-won, perspective-earned clarity, becomes your compass. You don't second-guess anymore. You don't get lost in the noise. You move toward what matters with absolute precision, away from what doesn't, with absolute certainty, elevated and grounded. You can see vastly and act precisely. You understand the long game and you honor the moment. You push hard and you rest fully. You're ambitious and you're also content with who you are right now. In this moment, this is the paradox of the mature visionary, the contradiction that's not a contradiction, the both and instead of either or, the ability to hold two truths at once, and from this place, from this integration, you become formidable, unstoppable, and also at peace, also whole. You move closer to the fire pit now. The warmth increases, the embers pulse with energy, orange and gold, red and amber. The heat is real, tangible, it's grounding. It feels like home, like you've come back to yourself, like you've returned to what matters. And you sit, your legs grateful for the rest, your body receiving the warmth, and you realize that this moment of arrival, this is not the end. It's not completion. It's the beginning of the next phase, the next project, the next build, the next mountain to climb. But you're different now, changed, you've integrated, you've ascended, you've rested, and from this place, from this summit, what you build will be remarkable, extraordinary, game-changing. Now is absolute, not arrogant, not blind, not fragile, but rooted in knowledge, in experience, in the repeated proof that you can handle what comes, that you were built for this. That challenge is your natural habitat, and this confidence doesn't need external validation anymore. It doesn't need the approval of others. It doesn't need the market to confirm it first. You know, you've proven and you understand again and again now, and knowing is everything. Not just intellectually, this is the confidence that moves mountains, that changes industries, that builds empire being, that transforms lives. Consistent actions, done repeatedly, create exponential results. This is not theory, it's law. The runner who runs a mile today, another tomorrow, another the next day. After 1,000 days, they've run 1,000 miles. That's compounding. The creator who ships one feature, then another, then another. After 100 iterations, you have a world-changing product. That's compounding. The person who has one insight, learns from it, applies it, then has another. after years of this, you're wise. That's compounding. And you know this. You trust this. You live this. You can feel yourself already, 1 year from now, who you've become, what you've built, the person who took the insights from today and actually applied them, the person who said yes when others said no, who moved when others hesitated, who compounded, who showed up, who didn't quit, and that future you is already real, already exists, in probability space, and the compounding becomes visible, and it's calling 100 days of work, looks like nothing, showing 300 days of work, and you trust like a business, and you trust your days looks like mastery, and 10,000 hours looks like expertise that no one can match. You're entering that phase now, the phase where the invisible work becomes visible, where the compound interest of your effort starts to show, starts to manifest, starts to compound, and you can taste it, you can feel it in your body. The momentum is real, the trajectory is clear, the direction is certain, and nothing can stop this except giving up. And you quiet and powerful. You've come too far. You compound without fanfare, without needing recognition. You build without need for applause, without depending on others' approval. You trust the long game. You trust the daily work. You trust yourself completely, and that trust becomes a force, a real physical force that moves through you and into the world, and the world recognizes it without you doing anything special, just by being yourself, fully integrated, fully alive, fully capable, fully connected to your purpose. And you watch the embers, how they breathe, how they pulse, how they contain infinite energy within a small space, how they glow and shimmer, how they're alive. This is you too, infinite potential, infinite capacity, infinite possibility, contained in a body that walks and breathes and builds, that creates and thinks and acts. And you're at rest now, truly at rest, not because you're tired, but because you've arrived, you've climbed, you've seen, you've understood, you've integrated, and now you simply are, present, alive, at peace. Your body is warm, relaxed completely now, every muscle at ease, every fiber at rest. Your breathing is slow and deep, natural and rhythmic. Each breath feeds you, each exhale releases what you don't need, the doubt, the fear, the old stories, and with each cycle you go deeper, deeper into rest, into peace, into the knowledge that you are exactly where you need to be, who you need to be, ready for what comes next, but not thinking about it, not planning it, not strategizing, just being, fully present, fully alive, fully at ease, fully home. Deep within, something is integrating all the parts of you, the entrepreneur and the visionary, the resilient one and the decisive one, the ambitious part and the grounded part, the part that reaches and the part that rests. They're moving into alignment, into oneness, into harmony, and in that integration you become whole, complete, unified, a unified force that can't be divided against itself, you're becoming, that can't be stopped by doubt, fear, change, certainty, because you tried to change, is because you climbed, because you ascended, because you sat by the fire doesn't doubt anymore, doesn't hesitate, doesn't ask permission, doesn't wait for the right time, doesn't wait for conditions to be perfect. It acts, it builds, it creates, it wins, and it does all of this with grace, with ease, with certainty. And when you wake tomorrow, you won't remember all the details of this journey, but you'll feel different, you'll walk differently, you'll think differently. The climb is in your body, the summit is in your nervous system, the fire pit is in your cellular memory. And without trying, without forcing, you'll make different choices, better choices, the choices of someone who knows. And this integration, this wholeness, who's been doesn't fade, it doesn't diminish, who's integrated all their parts every day, with every action, become whole, with every choice made from clarity instead of fear. Only entrepreneur you become here on the summit isn't a temporary state, it's not a fleeting feeling, it's a new baseline, a new normal, a new operating system. And from this baseline, from this new normal, everything you build will be built from strength, from knowing, from the deep certainty that you were made for this, that you're exactly where you're meant to climbed, and the you who's returning, the you who ascended, and the you who walks tomorrow, the you on the summit and the you in the world. They're one, the same person, just deeper now, clearer, more complete, more powerful, and carrying this summit with you, not as memory, but as truth, as knowing, as the physical, cellular, absolute knowledge that you are a business owner, that you can climb, that you can create, that you can succeed, that you are worthy, and that nothing, absolutely nothing, can stop you now. Nothing. And as you sit here by the fire pit, watching the embers pulse and glow, you become aware of something profound. The energy that built this fire pit, the energy that climbs ridges, the energy that creates, it's the same energy that flows through you. It's not separate from you. It's not something you need to find. It's something you need to recognize, to acknowledge, to trust. This energy has always been there, in your cells, in your thoughts, in every decision you've made that mattered. Every time you moved forward when others froze. Every time you saw possibility when others saw walls. That was this energy. That is this energy. And now, sitting here on the summit, you understand. You are not the limitation. You are not the doubt. You are the energy. You are the creator. You are the force that creates. And recognizing this changes everything. Deeper now, into the place where all your parts come together, the part that dreams and the part that builds, the part that reaches and the part that grounds, the part that pushes and the part that rests. They're no longer in conflict, they're no longer pulling in different directions, they're moving as one unified force, one integrated whole. And this integration is real, it's happening in your nervous system right now, in your cells, in your consciousness. The walls between the parts are dissolving, the bridges between them are strengthening. You're becoming more integrated with every breath, more whole, more complete, more capable. And this wholeness is permanent. It's building, it's consolidating, it's becoming the new you. And deeper still, into absolute absolute certainty, not the fragile certainty of someone who's been lucky, but the deep-rooted certainty of someone who knows, who's proven it, who's lived it, who's built it. This certainty doesn't depend on external conditions, doesn't depend on market validation, doesn't depend on others' approval. It's rooted in your experience, in your evidence, in the repeated proof that you can handle what comes, that you can create, that you can build, that you are worthy. And this certainty is not arrogance, it's just reality. It's just the truth about who you are. And the more you sit with this truth, the more it settles into you, the more it becomes solid, real, undeniable. And as you sit here on the summit, your vision becomes clearer, not just the physical vision of the landscape below, but the vision of what's possible for you, what you can create, what you're being called to build. This vision is becoming more vivid, more real, more compelling. It's no longer a faint whisper, it's a clear voice, a strong pull, a knowing, and you trust it completely. You trust it because you know yourself, because you know you've seen these things before and made them real, because you know your capacity, your ability, your power to create. And this trust in the vision becomes fuel, becomes energy, becomes momentum. And soon you'll begin the descent back down the ridge, back to where you came from, but you won't be returning alone. You'll be bringing the summit with you, the clarity, the vision, the certainty, the integration, the wholeness, all of it will be with you, inside you, in your cells, in your nervous system. And as you descend, step by step, the new baseline you've established on this summit will remain. It will solidify, it will deepen, it will become the new normal for how you operate in the world, the new standard for how you show up, for who you are. And nothing, absolutely nothing, can change that. Nothing can take it from you. Nothing can diminish it. This moment, right now, this is the moment of becoming, not the becoming that happens in the future, but the becoming that's happening right now, in this instant. Every breath you take on this summit is reshaping who you are. Every moment you sit by this fire is consolidating a new version of you. Not tomorrow, not next week, now. And this is the greatest secret. The transformation isn't something that happens later. It's happening now. It's happening in the choices you're making, in the way you're breathing, in the way you're allowing yourself to integrate, in the way you're accepting yourself as a visionary, as a creator, as someone worthy of success. And the more you settle into this moment, the more you allow it, the more completely you surrender to it, the deeper the transformation goes. It's not forced, it's not strained, it's effortless, it's natural. It's the organic unfolding of who you've always been, who you always were, who you're becoming right now. Here's the secret that the great creators know, the secret that changes everything when you really understand it. You are not at the mercy of reality. You are the architect of your reality. You are not a victim of circumstance. You are the designer of circumstance. You are not waiting for permission or luck or the right conditions. You are creating the conditions. You are building the reality that you inhabit. And this is not magic. This is not wishful thinking. This is just how reality works. The entrepreneurs understand this at a cellular level. And because they understand it, they don't wait. They don't hesitate. They don't ask for permission. They move. They create. They build. And as they build, reality shifts to accommodate them. Opportunities appear that weren't there before. Resources materialize. People show up. Doors open. But these things don't appear by accident. They appear because the entrepreneur is moving. Because the entrepreneur is creating. Because the entrepreneur is aligning their life with their vision. And this is what you're learning on this climb. Not just how to reach summits, but how to architect your reality. How to move consciously through the world. How to make choices that align with your deepest values and your greatest vision. And once you understand this, once you really get it, you can never go back. You can never again convince yourself that you're powerless. You can never again accept limitation as inevitable. Because you know that you have the power. You know that you're the architect. You know that the reality you inhabit is the reality you're building. And if you don't like it, you can change it. You can rebuild it. You can redesign it. And you will, because you're a business owner. That's what creators do. And one more thing, something that the truly great entrepreneurs think about, the legacy, not just what they're building for themselves, but what they're creating that will outlast them, what they're leaving behind. The fire pit on the summit, someone built that, someone long before you. And because they built it, you get to sit by its warmth. You get to feel its glow. You get to be sustained by their creation. And you're doing the same. Right now, in this moment, you're building something. Something that will outlast you. Something that will warm others. Something that will help others climb their own ridges. Reach their own summits. And this is the real triumph. Not just the summit for yourself, but the summit that serves others. Not just the victory for you, but the victory that lifts others. The visionaries understand this. The truly great ones. They know that the real measure of success isn't what you accumulate. It's what you create that matters. It's what you build that serves. It's what you leave behind that helps others become who they're meant to be. And this is what you're becoming. Not just someone successful, but someone who builds things that matter. Someone who creates things that serve. Someone who leaves a legacy, a trail of warmth, a path for others to follow. And this knowledge, this knowing that you're part of something larger, that your work matters, that your building serves, that your creation will outlast you. This is the deepest fulfillment. This is the truest victory. This is what the greatest entrepreneurs live for. And this is what you're becoming. The climb itself is teaching you something, not just about how to climb, but about the architecture of excellence, about how great things are built. First, there's the vision, the knowing that something else is possible, that something greater exists, that you're meant to reach it. This vision is not detailed. It doesn't need to be. It just needs to be clear enough to pull you forward, to give you direction. Second, there's the first step. Not all the steps, not the entire path, just the first step, and you take it, even though you don't know exactly where it leads, even though you can't see the summit from here. You take it anyway, because you trust the vision, you trust yourself. Third, there's the rhythm, the sustainable pace, the understanding that this is a marathon, not a sprint, that you need to pace yourself, that you'll need energy for the entire journey, not just the beginning. So you find the rhythm that lets you continue, step after step, breath after breath. Fourth, there's the obstacles, the places where the path gets harder, where your legs burn, where your mind wants to quit. These are not signs that you're on the wrong path. These are the path. These are the initiations. These are the tests that prove you're serious, that forge you stronger. And the great business owners know this. They expect the hard parts. They welcome them. They see them as opportunities to prove themselves, to test themselves, to grow. Fifth, there's the perspective shift, the moment when you climb high enough that you can see the whole landscape, when you understand your position in relation to everything else, when small problems become tiny, when obstacles that seemed insurmountable become small hills in a vast terrain. This perspective is everything. This is where despair turns into hope. This is where limitation becomes possibility. Sixth, there's the arrival, the reaching of the summit, not as an ending, but as a consolidation, a place to gather yourself, to recognize how far you've come, to honor what you've become, to celebrate the climb, and to prepare for the descent, for returning to the world transformed, for using what you've learned to build something new. This is the architecture. This is how excellence is built. And you're learning now, through every step of this climb, what the daily practice looks like, what it means to live as a visionary. Every morning there's a choice. Will you climb today? Will you move toward your vision? Or will you stay in the valley? And every morning you choose to climb, not because you feel inspired, not because the conditions are perfect, but because you're a visionary, because this is who you are. And entrepreneurs build, even when it's hard, even when nobody's watching, even when the rewards aren't immediate. And so you show up, you do the work, you take the steps. Some days the steps are big and dramatic, some days they're small and incremental, but you take them anyway, because you understand something that most people don't. Momentum is built in the tiny moments. Success is compounded in the daily practice. The empire is built brick by brick. The book is written word by word. The business is grown customer by customer. And you can't skip the daily practice. You can't shortcut the climb. You have to do the work. All of it. Every single day. And this doesn't discourage you. It empowers you. Because it means you control the outcome. You don't have to wait for luck. You don't have to wait for perfect conditions. You just have to show up and do the work. And if you do that consistently, if you do that daily, if you honor the practice, then inevitably you'll reach the summit. It's not a question of if, it's a question of when, and how many summits you'll climb, how many mountains you'll move, how much you'll build, because the creators understand. The work is the reward. The climbing is the destination. The practice is the point. And when you embrace this, when you stop looking for shortcuts, when you commit to the daily grind, when you become someone who shows up and does the work, then you become unstoppable. And as you near the summit, you're beginning to feel something. Excitement, not the nervous kind, but the deep, quiet kind. The kind that comes from knowing you're about to achieve something significant, something you've been working toward, something that matters. The triumph that awaits you on this summit, it's not just a personal victory, it's proof that you can do what you set out to do, proof that your vision is real, proof that you are capable. And when you prove this to yourself, really prove it, not just intellectually but experientially, something shifts. You stop doubting, you stop second guessing, you stop asking if you can, because you know you can. You've done it, you've climbed the ridge, you've reached the summit. And if you can do this, if you can accomplish this, then what else is possible? What other mountains can you move? What other problems can you solve? What other things can you build? Because the triumph on this summit opens doors. It expands your sense of what's possible. It shows you that you're larger than you thought, more capable than you believed, more powerful than you imagined. And you'll carry this knowledge forward into every challenge, into every obstacle, into every moment where doubt tries to creep in. You'll remember this summit, you'll remember the climb, you'll remember how you did it, and you'll know, deep in your bones, you'll know that you can do anything, that anything is possible, that your potential is unlimited, and this knowing will transform everything. Rest here, rest completely. The climb is done, the summit has been reached, the fire pit warms you, the wind carries the scent of earth and creation, and you are at peace, complete, whole, integrated, ready, not ready to rest forever, but ready to rest now, ready to let your body heal, ready to let your mind consolidate all this learning, all this integration, all this becoming. Sleep will come soon, deep sleep, restorative sleep, and your whole system will work to make this summit permanent, to embed this knowing, to make this new version of you solid and real and lasting. And as you continue climbing, something becomes clear. The mindset of the business owner is not just about confidence, it's about a particular way of relating to reality. It's about seeing the world not as it is, but as it could be, not as fixed, but as malleable, as something that responds to effort, to intention, to will. This is the business owner's gift and curse, because once you see possibility, you can't unsee it. Once you understand that things could be different, you can't accept things as they are. The gap between what is and what could be becomes impossible to ignore. It pulls at you, it compels you, it drives you forward, and you've learned to trust this pull, to lean into it, to follow it wherever it leads, because every time you followed it, it's led somewhere, somewhere interesting, somewhere valuable, somewhere worth being. And you understand now that this isn't weakness, this isn't instability, this is exactly what makes you who you are. This is your strength, this is your superpower, the ability to imagine, the ability to see, the ability to manifest what exists nowhere but in your mind, and then to bring it into being, to make it real. This is what the great creators do. this is what you do. As you near the summit, you become aware of something else. Energy, raw creative energy. It's not mystical, it's not vague, it's physical, it's real. You can feel it in your body, in your chest, in your hands, in the electrical fire of your nervous system. It's the energy of creation itself, the energy that builds empires, that writes books, that changes industries, that transforms lives. And this energy is flowing through you right now. It's not distant, it's not something you need to find. It's here, in you, now. And the more you settle into this awareness, the more the energy flows, the more alive you feel, the more capable you become, because you're not just a person trying to do things. You're a vessel for creative energy. You're a channel. You're a conduit. And when you understand this, when you really get it in your bones, everything changes. Your doubts dissolve. Your hesitations fade, because you know you're not trying to do this alone. You're aligned with something larger, something more powerful, something that's been flowing through creators and entrepreneurs and visionaries since the beginning of time. And now, you're part of that lineage. You're one of those people. You're the entrepreneur. You're the creator. You're the visionary. And the fire pit that waits for you at the summit, it's not just a fire pit, it's a symbol, a metaphor. It represents transformation. It represents rest earned. It represents the place where you consolidate your gains, where you integrate your learning, where you gather your energy for the next climb. The business owners who last understand this, they understand that you can't climb forever, that you must rest. But this isn't weakness. This is wisdom. This is strategy. The fire pit is where you sit with yourself, where you acknowledge what you've done, where you honor the climb, where you prepare for what comes next. And the heat of the embers, it's not cruel, it's not consuming, it's warming, it's nourishing. It's like the warmth of success, the glow of accomplishment, the satisfaction of knowing you did it. You climbed, you reached the summit, you made it, and now you rest in the knowledge of your own capacity, your own power, your own success. And this knowledge becomes fuel, becomes clarity, becomes the foundation for the next build, the next mountain, the next chapter of your life. Because the business owners understand something that most people never discover. The destination matters less than who you become in the pursuit of it. The summit matters less than the climb. And the greatest reward is not reaching the top. It's becoming the person who can reach the top. It's becoming someone capable of extraordinary things. And sitting here by the fire, you realize something profound. The creator within you is not temporary, it's not a phase, it's not something you'll outgrow. It's fundamental, it's eternal, it's who you are at the deepest level. And recognizing this changes everything. Because it means you don't have to keep proving yourself. You don't have to keep seeking validation. You don't have to keep questioning whether you're good enough. You already know the answer. You are the visionary. You are the creator. You are the visionary. And this is not arrogance. This is just knowing yourself. This is just accepting the truth about who you are. And when you accept this, when you stop fighting it, stop doubting it, stop questioning it, you become unstoppable. because all your energy goes into creation instead of self-doubt. All your power flows into building instead of defending. All your capacity directs toward what matters instead of toward internal conflict. And this is the final integration. This is the complete wholeness. This is the version of you that changes the world. This is the you that was always meant to emerge. This is the you that's becoming now and will continue to become forever, in every moment, with every breath, with every choice. And so you understand, with absolute clarity, that everything you've experienced on this climb, every step, every breath, every moment of doubt overcome, every moment of clarity gained, all of it has been leading to this moment, to this arrival, to this becoming, and you're ready, completely ready, for whatever comes next. And now, as this journey continues into sleep, you descend deeper still into the parts of you that don't have words, the parts that are pure knowing, pure being, pure presence, and your body becomes heavier now, so heavy, so weighted with rest, so weighted with peace, so weighted with the knowledge of who you are. Your arms are heavy, your legs are heavy, your chest is heavy, your head is heavy, your mind is soft, diffuse, drifting between waking and sleeping, between this world and the next, between known and unknown. And that's exactly right. That's exactly as it should be. You're safe here. You've earned this rest. The space between waking and sleeping